Hi, fourth grade. We're going to go over the assignments for this week using your cover sheet, your packet for English, your cover sheet that looks like this. We're going to be covering lessons 25 to 29. If we go ahead and open up to page 18 on your packet, it's common nouns, special plurals. This is a review. This is all the way back from chapter 3, so we've talked about this before. We've learned that some words we make plural by adding the letter S to them. We have a dog, or we have 5 dogs, a cat, 10 cats. Those are pretty easy ones. Regular, standard way to make a noun plural by adding an S to the end. But some words that we use in our English language are special plurals, and we change them. For example, one of the words that we've talked about, man, becomes men, and just like that, woman becomes women, child becomes children. We have ones like tooth become teeth, and foot becomes feet. Those are some that are different. Some other rules that we have. The word ox, plural is oxen. Elk, the plural is elk. Moose, the plural is moose. Look, no S's. Deer, it's the same. Plural is just deer. Sheep, you have 1 sheep, you have 10 sheep. You have 1 deer, you have 50 deer. Then we have the rule where we change F to V and add ES. We have the word like calf becomes calves, or wolf becomes wolves, or wife become wives, or knife become knives. Those are all some of our special plurals that we've learned about this year. If a word ends in an F, you change the F to a V and add ES. There we have special ones: deer, sheep, elk, moose. Where you don't add an S, the word just stays the same. We have special ones like foot and tooth. Another one of those would be like goose. Double O's change to double E's to make them plural. Let's see, I think there was another one. Oh, here's one that's just a weird one. Mouse becomes mice. We don't have 10 mouses, we have 10 mice. But let's hope that we don't. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to choose the correct one in 1 through 7. Only one of them's written right. In 8 through 15, you're going to write the word on the blank to show the correct special plural. And then at the bottom, 16 through 20, you're going to write S if the underlined noun is singular, or you're going to write P if it's plural. Now, how do you know? Well, the way that you can find out is by reading the rest of the sentence. Because if you have a word like deer, like in number 15, some deer lay in the soft grass. Well, deer could be singular and deer could be plural. What word in that sentence lets you know if it's singular or plural? The very first word in that sentence says not a deer, it says some deer. So some means more than one. So in number 16, it's going to be P for plural. Okay? And you'll do that for the rest of those. Go ahead and look at page 19. We're going to talk about possessive nouns. That's the ones that show ownership. And first we're going to talk about singular, and then on the next worksheet page, we're going to talk about plural. So we make a noun plural by different ways. We've just talked about that. Some of them you add S or ES or IES. Some you just leave the same. You don't change them. however you spell them. To show ownership, we have to use an apostrophe. So when you look at the top of page 19, we're going to rewrite each of these phrases using a singular possessive noun. Number 1 says, the chair belonging to the teacher. So whose chair is it? It's the teacher's chair. So you're going to write teacher, just one teacher, apostrophe S, teacher's chair. It's what you should write in the blank for number 1, because the chair belonging to the teacher. Who has the ownership? The chair doesn't have the ownership. The teacher owns the chair. The chair doesn't own the teacher. So teacher's chair. The apostrophe S shows ownership, shows possessive. You're going to do that all the way through. The hamster owned by Belen. Who has the hamster? Would be that person's hamster. The fur of the cat. The peanut belonging to the monkey, the door of the car, and the tip of the pen. And then down in the next section, you're going to write the possessive form of the singular noun that's in parentheses, and you're going to write it possessive. So like number 7 says, blank pet is a guinea pig. And the word in the blank is Samantha. So this needs to say Samantha's pet. Apostrophe S goes in the blank. Samantha's pet. You do the same thing for animal, guinea pig, girl, pet, and cages in 8 through 12. And then down at the bottom, you're going to make a possessive noun from each phrase given and use it in a sentence. So the skates belonging to Cody. You're going to make a sentence, your sentence now, not mine, but it would say something with Cody's skates, because you're going to use the possessive form of the noun. Cody's skates are blue. That would be my sentence. Your sentence needs to be something different. And the same with the book bag owned by Jenna. You wouldn't say the book bag owned by Jenna. You would say Jenna's book bag in a sentence. All right? And then if you'll quickly go ahead and turn over to 20, because this is the same thing, except that we're talking about plural nouns. A singular noun doesn't end in an S, but to make it possessive, you put apostrophe S on the end. But plural nouns, a lot of them have an S on them when you make them plural. We showed dogs, cats, things like that. So if you have a word like that that has an S on the end, you don't add another S with your apostrophe. You're just going to add an apostrophe. Like the classes belonging to the teachers, like all of the teachers here at school. So that's more than one teacher. That's teachers, but it's the teachers' classes. So you're going to put an apostrophe after the S and show that it's the teachers, more than one teacher, teachers' classes. Then you've got the eyes of the snakes, the cars of the policemen. That's a good one. Look at number 3 with me. Okay, so policemen, it's the policemen's cars, okay? But men, policemen, is the plural. That's more than one policeman. That's the policemen. So we're going to say just an apostrophe S on that. Policemen's cars. Policemen's cars. So this one's just like we write it when we're writing in the singular, because the word doesn't end in an S. If you have a plural that doesn't end in an S, you just add an apostrophe S like you do if it's singular. So you're going to do that on the rest of those. You're going to write the plural possessive for the noun that's in parentheses. Secretaries, computers were broken. So we wanted to show possessiveness. We already have that it's secretaries. They're plural. So all we have to do to that is just add an apostrophe to the end of that word, and it's correct. And then in 10 through 13, you're going to choose the correct answer, which ones you use the right way. And in 14, you're going to make a possessive noun from the phrase given and use it in a sentence, just like we did on the other page. The homes of the animals would be animals, more than one, apostrophe at the end, animals, homes, make that into a sentence. All right? And then you've got page 21. confusing proper nouns. All right. So this page is a little bit different. Proper nouns, we know, begin with capital letters. So it's easy if you see the capital letter already there, you're going to know that it's a proper noun. But there's some special rules that we learned about back when we did chapter 3 before. If you say, I'm going to the doctor today, that's a lowercase d. That is a common noun. It's a doctor, the doctor. But if you're talking to your doctor and you call him doctor, please doctor, how long do I take this medicine? That's going to be a capital D because it's what you call him. So that's one of those rules. If it's what you call someone, you can say, my grandmother lives in Texas, but that's a common noun, my grandmother. It's your grandmother, but it's not what you call her. But if you say, grandma lives in Texas, or my grandma Betty lives in Texas, both grandma and Betty would be capitalized because it's the name that you call her, okay? We talked about directions on a map, north, south, east, and west. And those are used, if you're talking about, we're going to go out west for vacation, that's just a direction you're going in. So that's a lowercase w, it's a common noun. But if you said like in number 2, cowboy life was common in the West, that's a region of the country. So if you're talking about a region, then it's with a capital W, it's a proper noun. The same thing, the north, the south, the east, and the west. Countries, of course, cities are capitalized. But again, you're talking about your mother. If you're just talking about your mother in general, then it's a common noun. But if it's what you call your mother, mom is 35, then mom would have a capital M. So that's what you're going to do in 1 through 9, and then at the paragraph at the bottom, you're going to proofread the paragraph, and you're going to use proofreading marks there for capital letters and lowercase letters. If they should be capitalized and they're not, you're going to put the 3 little letters showing that should be a capital C. But if they're capitalized and they shouldn't be, you're going to draw that line straight through it like that to show that it should be a lowercase letter. And there are 7 capitalization mistakes in that paragraph to do with proper nouns. All right, let's see. I believe that's going to finish us up because the last 2 pages are the chapter review, and we're going to go back and cover the chapter review later because that wouldn't be until your Friday work. So there will be another video for that because I don't have time to cover it in this video. So I will see you later when I come back to do the chapter review. You guys have a good day.